take place in this county, I should say, next week. And of course, our reporters are out covering several stories from this part of the country for you. We will be joining some of them live to talk to us about what they have covered today and what to expect, of course, later today in the evening. But first of all, some stories making headlines on a national level, and a group of Orange Democratic Party supporters in Malindi constituency have come out to support the expulsion of the Member of Parliament Aisha Jumwa from the party. The supporters said the decision was well thought out and will be a lesson to other leaders who go against the party leadership.
Na kama yeye anafikiri alikuwa maarufu, basi sasa si yeye yuko na watu wengi, wacha tumsubiri kwa debe. Kama ana watu kweli tutaona. Lakini akumbuke kwamba umaarufu wake aliupata kwa sababu ya chama cha ODM, kwa sababu ya Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga.
Na yule ambaye ataletwa kwetu kwa tikiti ya chungwa, tutahakikisha kwamba tumemrudisha pale pale, sisi wa Malindi na sisi wa Jilore.
All right, like I said, our reporters are out in the field covering several stories for us, and our team leader and lead producer for this specific edition of NTV on the Road is Brenda Wanga, who is live here at Maya Gardens to talk to us about the stories that we'll be covering today and, of course, what theme we will be focusing on this evening. Brenda?
Well, indeed, we are here at Maya Gardens in Sagana in Kirinyaga County, where we've been sampling a bit of what this county has to offer. We have been to various interesting places that many people may not have known really exist in this county. Our colleague is currently preparing to go on an adventure spot in one of the spots around here. We'll be seeing a bit of that in just a few minutes. We did talk to some of the Mau Mau veterans. We'll be bringing you their story later on in our bulletins. We have General Mugoto, a famed man who was part of the Mau Mau resistance. He tells us of his charge of having murdered 30 people during that resistance. Was he jailed? Was he not? Stay tuned for those details in our bulletins later on this afternoon. My colleague Jen also has been traversing this county, especially here in Sagana, where she went on an adventure in one of the crocodile farms in the country right here in Kirinyaga. She will be sharing those experiences with us today in our later bulletins. This is just part of what we have prepared for you this afternoon when we do cover the second day of the county edition, coming to you from Kirinyaga County, as the county also prepares to host the 6th edition of the Devolution Conference, which will be starting this Monday through to Friday. NTV will be here to cover these events and bring them to you as we explore Kirinyaga County in a way that many people have not seen before. We will also be telling you about some of the major cash crops that come out of this county. We did tell you about coffee yesterday. What will we be telling you today? We will be taking you to the rice paddies spread across this county, where we'll be getting a sample of the best Pishori rice. They lay claim to having producing the best Pishori rice in this country. We will be covering that for you. We'll also be bringing you stories about the culinary feats that this county boasts itself of. We have stories about macadamia nuts that are grown here. So we have a wide array of an offering that we will be bringing to you in the course of our stay here. We did start yesterday. We will be here today. We'll be here tomorrow, Monday, all through to the end of the Devolution Conference. So please do stay tuned as we just give you a sample of what my colleague Jen was able to capture when she visited the crocodile farm earlier in the day. Have a look.
Sasa mambo ushika hivi mambo unashika hivi, ushike mambo mkia na umeacha kichwa, kwa maana iko very flexible, itatanya alafu ikubite.
Ngoja. Lakini usiatilie kichwa tafadhali.
Hapana, najua itanikia.
Inaweza uma.
Itakuuma.
Haya. Hivi ndio hivyo. Hata sauti inashindwa kuzungumza.
Kuzungumza tu.
Ukishika hapo hakuna shida.
Lakini kishika mkia niwache nini itakuuma.
Na sasa kama wewe ushaiumwa?
Mimi nishaumwa hapo. Unaona hapo kuna nini nishika mkono, nilikuwa naipatia dawa. Na kudunga shindano. Sasa mwenye alinishikia alienda akawacha, sasa ikatani ikaniuma.
Ikakuuma. Runinga. Usiachilie, najaribu tu uinue juu kidogo tu.
Well, our colleague Jen, they are coming face to face with one of the most dreaded animals in the planet. But Edmond, I know you will be keen to see that story alongside the rest of our viewers. And I also know that after this bulletin, perhaps you will also get a chance to go out and explore this county for other stories that we'll be bringing our viewers. Edmond?
Thank you so much, Brenda. Of course, as she mentioned, some of our colleagues are out in the field. And speaking of which, Olive Barrows has been having quite an experience within this region. And we now go to Olive Barrows, who's engaging in some bit of bungee jumping, in fact, in this specific area. Let's just go live to Olive right now and see what she has in store for us. Olive?
Thank you, Edmond. Actually, just a few minutes before you came to us, Anne took the 60-foot jump. It's her birthday. I'm giving her a minute to catch her breath. But she jumped, I don't know what I can show you, all the way from up there. And Salim Swale and myself intend to make the same jump. I don't know whether you can tell, but my mouth is completely dry because from what I've heard, it can be terrifying. But now that we said it on national TV, we can't back out now. So we will jump from all the way up there, that is about 60 feet up, and come all the way down, but we won't quite hit the river. I wouldn't lie, my heart is beating at about, I don't know what, 1,000 beats per minute. That's what it feels like. Salim Swale is with me. Salim, do you think you'll back out now?
Mimi naona kama safari utaenda peke yako. Manake Edmond, amini usiamini, mita 60 kutoka juu. Unapanda mita 60, unaanguka, umefungwa kamba miguuni, unakuja kichwa kikiwa chini, halafu kamba yenyewe ni kamba ya mpira. Unapiga chini, unadunda, unarudi juu, unakuja, unadunda, unarudi juu. Si mchezo. Wakipokewa hapa utadhani mtu katoka katika chumba cha wagonjwa mahututi. Kwa hiyo bado niko 50 sijui kama kweli nitamaliza safari au vipi.
Okay, so all this is part of what Kirinyaga County has to offer. We're at Savage Wilderness, yes, in Kirinyaga County. Apparently, I hear the governor's also meant to come and do this, but they opted to go the football way, but we'll do it on their behalf. Yeah, so this is just part of what they offer. There's zip lining, there's canoeing, there's stand-up paddle boarding. But being an African woman and getting my hair wet, no, so it'll have to be bungee jumping. I am sweating. We'll see what the state of my armpits will be after this. But back to you, Edmond.
Thank you so much, Olive Barrows and Salim Swale, with that experience. Like I said, a lot to offer from this part of the country. And just look forward to this evening. We have quite a lot in store for you in terms of the cultural experiences and a lot of other things from this great county, number 20, that is of Kirinyaga. Now, moving on. KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli says corruption is one of the main reasons Kenya has lagged behind in development. Atwoli says the government has been making poor decisions on how to grow and control the country, further delaying growth. He added that other countries that became independent after Kenya are well developed because of the measures their governments took to fight corruption.
And we have told the president that the mamas and the majority of Kenyans are behind him. I now represent more than 3 million workers. They are behind the president on corruption issues. We have churches. We have civil societies in this country. We have other organizations besides political parties who are fighting corruption in this country. And the president should not be cowed. And he's serving his last term. He should fire those who are directly involved or suspected. Even if they are just suspected, they should be fired.
Now, the board of Nation Media Group has held a farewell dinner for one of its directors, Olive Mugenda, who has left the board after being appointed to the Judicial Service Commission. Professor Mugenda has been a member of the board for the last 7 years Chairman Wilfred Kiboro has termed Olive as an elegant professional and a good listener, will be very instrumental in helping to restructure the Judicial Service Commission and also boost the role of the media in terms of the judiciary.
Olive, when in your new job, there's something that can really increase our dividends and even give us a bonus called LIBOR. When you talk to the judges, the LIBOR provision is very high. Tell them to be a bit sober when they are making the judgment on LIBOR, because I think in the recent times they are gone crazy and they are awarding very high penalties, which is not sustainable on this industry. 20 million, some figures are too high.
She was the voice of reason in our board, and sometimes our board gets quite interesting and sometimes gets very heated in some certain issues. Particularly when we talk about matters to do with press freedom, we can never seem to agree on which direction to go. And I think it's a very healthy board. But Olive would come in the middle of all this and set us back in the middle course. And I think we'll miss that contribution. I think Olive is going to be very much instrumental in actually helping to restructure the judiciary in terms of making sure that we have honest judges and men and women of integrity. So I think she'll be able to play a wonderful role in that. I hope she'll be able to explain what the role of the media is in terms of their mandate to hold various arms of government and the public at large accountable.
I've heard, and I hope I'll be a good friend within there, so that if we need to talk, I can facilitate that, because it's also a good family, by the way. So I'm coming from a good family to another good family, and we'll be able to work together. And I've heard about the role of the media in terms of the judiciary and how we can work on that.
Let's now go to the counties, where the county government of Mombasa has launched the first ever platform that will provide the business owners and citizens with a unique opportunity to interact, suggest and raise concerns on various services through web mobile phone. NTV's Helen Wanjohi has those details.
Now, it's your turn now. The much-awaited system that will enable Wananchi to receive feedback on business inquiries or government services is now ready for use. The system, dubbed Huduma Kwanza, was developed by the county government of Mombasa in collaboration with the World Bank Group.
The service will be available to all users in both English and Kiswahili, in web, and for those with no access to the internet on smartphones through USSD. By doing this, the county government of Mombasa acknowledges the need to provide accurate, timely, and accessible information to the citizens.
Among services offered via Huduma Kwanza include single business permits, construction permit, outdoor advertising, medical and public health services, fire and rescue services, and general enquiries.
Our citizens and other stakeholders through a platform, and there is a large expectation that will be able to deliver the responses within the stipulated time that we had agreed.
The Trade, Tourism and Investment Department is also planning on where residents will be able to visit and be taught on how the system works. Helen Wanjohi, NTV.
Now, more than 2,000 traders in Ngong have been relocated to a temporary market in Ngong Stadium to pave the way for the construction of an ultra-modern market. The 180 million shillings temporary market has a capacity to accommodate at least 2,000 traders, but some of the traders claim to have missed out on the slots and others complain of double allocation. As a way to ease the traffic caused by the traders who operate on the side of the road, new plans have been underway to come up with a new market. According to the county governor, Joseph Olelenku, the new market will also boost trade. He urged traders to seize the opportunity to grow their businesses. The ultra-modern market, worth 700 million shillings, is expected to start next week after months of a standoff. The traders were advised to relocate their businesses from the roadside by Tuesday to avoid eviction.
Watu ni wengi. Imepeanwa sehemu kidogo kwa sababu kitu kama hii ni ya 4x4. So ikiwa ya 4x4 ni kasehemu kidogo, hata vile wanasema ni ya muda mfupi, tunaona sio muda mfupi vile, kwa sababu inaweza chukua hata pengine hata miaka 5 ndio pengine ile soko ingine tunaambiwa inajengwa pengine imalizike.
Now, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with Kilifi County Government, have launched a pilot program dubbed Maverick, I should say, project, which aims to increase awareness and create access to family planning and reproductive health in the county. This comes as Kilifi stands as one of the leading counties affected by teenage pregnancies, with over 17,000 cases reported last year. Speaking during the graduation ceremony of 36th Health Workers, the Population Services of Kenya Director for Reproductive Health, Rachel Mutuku, said the graduates will be able to offer family planning services to the community. The program will sensitize women on the benefits of family planning and help them tackle cultural beliefs, as most homesteads have many children, but the parents are not able to take care of them.
So I would like to really thank
Now, residents in Mlolongo, Machakos County have demonstrated over the rising number of road accidents attributed to dangerously parked trailers.
Angry residents were up in arms over the rising road accidents along Mombasa Road. They barricaded the road and paralyzed transport, holding vehicles hostage. Their efforts to access the management of one of the trailer companies were futile. They opted to block the company's entrance as police officers kept watch.
We are requesting them. We agree and we accept that they are doing business. But if they are going to a factory, let the trolleys be parked inside the premises of that factory, but not on this road. This road was meant for residential use only.
Area Member of Parliament Patrick Makau urged the security organs to move in and address the issue to protect locals from road carnage. Fatima Bugu, NTV.
Now, 77-year-old James Kerr from Kaloleni has received a 250,000 shillings donation from President Uhuru Kenyatta after his roof was blown away by presidential choppers as the president landed near his homestead when he was touring the area in 2017. The donation was handed to him in a brief ceremony by Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata and Kilifi County Commissioner Magu Mutindika. It was also reported that the helicopters also blew off the rooftops of a makeshift dining hall in Kizurini Secondary School. None of the students were injured during that incident. The school also received 2 million shillings from the president and have now been able to construct a modern kitchen. Elungata said the president has been steadfast in ensuring all damaged properties are fixed and the parties affected compensated for their damages. Now, the widow of the late Kikuyu Benga musician Joseph Kamaru, Susan Wangari that is, was laid to rest in a low-key burial ceremony at the Kangema home. Susan Wangari Kimaru, who was 78-year-old, died a week ago in her daughter's home in Rongai, Nairobi, after battling with high blood pressure, among other ailments. Wangari was last seen in public during her husband's burial, held in the village of Kigumo sub-county, which was attended by dignitaries, among them President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga. Her death came barely 4 months after her famous husband's death. Unlike the high-profile burial of the late husband, the only notable figures who attended her send-off were Muranga women representative Sabina Shege and Kangema MP Muturi Kigano. Wangari was was also living in Kimaru's home in Mutuma village in Kangema, Muranga, where she was laid to rest. Let's now cover your sports with Sean Kaduvilis. Repetition is a good thing, and Moses Kuria has just discovered that it can help propel one into the circle of the relevant. He found some shoes, and with this, he is walking around announcing his intentions to anyone who wishes to listen. He is a joke, seriousness, and comedy rolled into one, and as Emmanuel Juma now reports on Bullseye, in Kenyan politics, truth is increasingly becoming relative.
You can't spend what you don't have. You cannot pickpocket a naked man.
And Babu, please, today is a no Matusi day.
Kuna Matusi.
He is a Babu, and Babus with their wisdom can be trusted, right? So Babu, who is the man in the picture?
Me, I don't want to comment on it.
We insist, Babu. Do you know this guy?
So don't ask me stupid questions.
You still have not answered the stupid question.
This member of parliament, he was invited by the parent of the lady who was wedding. Then invited us as members of parliament, so I don't want to hear nonsense.
Now we are getting somewhere. Maybe, just maybe, this is the nonsense that Babu does not want.
Oh, boy.
Hold on. Take your seat, Babu. You just threatened demos against NTV. How now?
And this demonstration, there is no demonstration without tear gas. That is when it can be nice.
And he had made a promise.
Kuna Matusi.
The truth, lies, half-truths are meant to be rotated in politics. For example, is Ferdinand Waititu saved?
Mimi nataka kutubu niseme mimi nakuanga nimeokoka lakini sio 100%. Lakini
when asked to explain,
mimi ni mwanasiasa lazima nitubu kama Mkristo vile. Pasa akisimama hapa lazima aongee maneno ya kwenda mbinguni. Na mimi nikisimama hapa lazima niseme kitu kidogo. Inahusiana na ile kazi ambayo ninafanya.
Well, another one from Kiambu recently raided the museum and picked up a pair of shoes.
Simuona hivi viatu nimevaa. Hii ilikuwa ya Jomo.
And because of that, he's making all the noise.
Niko hapa kuomba kura zenu nikiwa nasimama rais.
A referendum was conducted immediately. Question: should Moses Kuria run for president? This was the competitor's answer. Imagine how the conversation went. Eti Moses Kuria wants to be president. Ha ha ha.
Chama hili nitakuwa nayo nitawaambia wakati huo, unaweka tika hapo, unaona ile gari inakuja. Na mimi huyo anaingia Ikulu.
Wakati wa kuomba kura ukifika, mnajua mimi nitakuja kuomba ya nani na sio yangu na sio ya Moses Kuria.
Moses Kuria wewe, handshake itakuokoa.
Niambie tu Moses Kuria sio upande yako.
In a village, there are many animals. Even in politics, there are many animals.
Tell us more.
Inasumbua watu kwa village, ikitangaza kila pahali vile imetaga mayai. Na yai ni moja. Ile ng'ombe tumekamua, maziwa imekunywa na watoto kila pahali, ng'ombe iongei.
Kiraitu is saying Moses Kuria is just a chicken.
Juzi nimeongea mambo ya kuleta mayai, kuleta kuku.
And chickens protect their eggs, don't they? As for Echesa,
nimefanya kazi na hustler huyu miezi ngapi? Mimi ni nani katika nchi ya Kenya hii?
You could call that pride. Sorry, bride.
Kama Raila sasa amekuwa ndio appointing authority in this country, I want to dare you tinga wherever you are. Come and sack me.
And that could qualify for bravado. Or is it bravado? But then there was this elder's curse.
Na mimi nataka kusema hivi jua ikienda chini. Mtoto mdogo nilizaa. Anaitwa Rashid Mohamed Echesa. Huyu ni mtoto tulizaa. Kile ruma nisemo halo Rio. Ya kwanda. Ndambuyu ulira.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Mimi sijui hii tabu imetokea wapi.
There was a time Baba said he would go make mandazis in Kibra if he lost an election.
Somebody is stealing, don't go and shout there and tell us that, oh, 7 billion shillings is nothing. 7 billion shillings is not pocket change.
Forget about focusing on the petty politics of 2022 and William Ruto and some mandasinomics you have been telling us about. You know, this is, you know, there are people whose trademark, they told us that if they lose an election, they will go and make mandasi. So you lost the election. Why are you not making mandasi?
Emmanuel Juma, Bullseye, NTV.
That's it from our teams in Nairobi and of course here in Kirinyaga at this hour. But like we mentioned, there's a lot we are covering for you today, of course, on NTV Jioni with Salim Swale and Jen Goiri, and at 9 p.m. as well with myself and Olive Barros. Stay tuned as we cover various aspects of this county to do with, you know, culture, arts, and all those things that we mentioned earlier with Brenda Wanga. For now, it's bye-bye. Enjoy your viewing. Thank you.